Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. Forgive me there as I accidentally kicked my impromptu mic stand that I'm using. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another one of these Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI casts. We are on the map Site Delta, the AI edition, and we have got two bots here today. I couldn't decide which one of these two that I wish to cast, so I just decided, well, I'll just cast them playing against each other. That seems to be the answer to that problem. And so we've got Sharpened Edge in the bottom right. A knife that is currently sharp, but we shall see whether it can be dulled or not by Dominion Dog. In the top left, Dominion Dog. Bot that seems to have become recently more active on the ladder anyways, and I was quite impressed by the first game that I cast of it, so I decided to cast a few more. And here we are, a Terran versus Protoss, but yes, more importantly, a bot versus bot match. We've got Sharpened Edge programmed to send out an initial scouting probe. Not just scouting though, as it's going to start zapping away on this SCV, stops attacking one, immediately picks a fight with another. Well, I guess doesn't pick a fight, it just embraces the fight, the challenge of the SCV. And so we're going to see how much chaos this can cause, but that is another early test that bot authors, probably one of the first problems you solve as a bot author is, how do I make my bot not die to some early game worker harassment? Because there definitely has been worker rushes. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy these bot games, make sure to go ahead and click that like button if you haven't already. Join the Discord, which is linked down below if you want to join the bot community and just my channel. And then subscribe if you're not a subscriber. We are getting really close to that 10K subscriber mark, which is exciting because it's probably like a subscriber for every year I've been on YouTube, but actually less than that. Or 1,000 subscribers for every year I've been on YouTube, but then again, that's always been many years of casual YouTube, which is still the case. We do have that probe going down, getting stabbed by some SCVs. Looks like a Marine for Dominion Dog is moving out to scout. Dominion Dog doesn't work or scout, it just has gone for a safe bunker. It does have a variety of strategies, as we saw previously. It went for Reapers, and this game it's going for something a little bit different, just a standard expo, whereas Sharpened Edge is a more simple bot, going to be going for a one-base push, and we'll see how well Dominion Dog can handle this or not. Saying the tag build Robo All-In, I believe Sharpened Edge is mainly a one-base timing bot. And by the way, I did adjust some of my audio settings prior to doing this cast. It's always a battle with Windows. They recently, Windows 11, like, it makes it harder to find all the audio settings, but I think I've got things looking all right. But as always, if you do have feedback, leave a comment down below saying what that feedback is, and I'll adjust the audio, or say more bots, as that also helps the YouTube algorithm. We do have a bit of a 3-racks coming out of Dominion Dog. It's not rushing into making mules, it's just making as many workers as it can. Looks like it finally... Or did it start up an orbital? No, it has yet to start up an orbital command, which is a little bizarre, as it's kind of like giving up free money as a Terran bot. The first mule pays for the orbital command, basically. And now we do have Stimpak on the way for Dominion Dog, making Marines, making Marauders, pumping out lots of units, and it's going to need lots of these units to defend against Immortals, Stalkers, and a Prism. That's going to be crossing the map for Sharpened Edge. We'll see. I think how this game goes is completely going to depend on where these two armies meet. If Dominion Dog's on the defensive, it may go okay. Whereas if it's out on the map, it could be a little bit more dicey. And so we're going to see what the case is. Sharpened Edge is starting to move on out with its Stalkers. Just the Stalkers. The Immortals are a little bit behind. Where the Prism goes is going to really change how this works as well. As of course that Prism's going to be critical for giving vision up this ramp that Sharpened Edge doesn't have, so because it may just run into a whole bunch of bio here. Up the ramp goes. Sharpened Edge, is it going to pull these Stalkers back? Loses 1, 2. Immediately, Dominion Dog collapsing on top of this. There is concussive shell on those Marauders, so they are just going to tag those Stalkers, not let them escape. But now Sharpened Edge isn't really interested in retreating, as these two Immortals will cut into those Marauders, and they actually all get taken out pretty darn quickly. SCVs are being pulled off the line to repair this bunker against the onslaught by these two Immortals. They deal so much damage to bunkers, to Marauders. They've already killed all the Marauders, but it looks like that Prism goes down, gets too far forward, and with a good repair, the bunker shall hold. This is why we see Protoss often mix in sentries so they can force field Terran bunkers. Well, not so much these days in this meta, but it does look like that was a pretty darn solid hold for Dominion Dog, denying the attack of Sharpened Edge. And I mean, they were down on down the ramp, and it went okay for Sharpened Edge, but as soon as they moved up into that bunker, the attack failed. Sharpened Edge has got one Immortal out, but it's sending that back home. Looks like it may just be gearing up for another attack. But if the first one didn't work, I don't have too much hopes here for the second one. Now let's see, yeah, that one Immortal waddles home in shame. And then we have got Starport on the way for Dominion Dog. It does like to play that classic Bio-Terran style. And we'll see where these two armies are going to end up clashing. Dominion Dog with a much stronger economy than its opponent. Dominion Dog is getting +1 armor on the way, not +1 attack, notably, which is a little bit bizarre, but I'm not sure how much that matters. I'm just fast forwarding a little bit here as we're gonna see this next attack now cross the map, but with Dominion Dog still on the defensive. I don't think this is gonna work out too well for Sharpened Edge. That ramp is going to cause problems, as there's no vision as these Stalkers go up this ramp. There is even a stim pack, so those Marines and Marauders just surge forward. The Stalkers are like, uh-oh, but the Prism Micro is kind of non-existent for Sharpened Edge. Honestly, the Prism control, I think, could be improved a little bit here. We've seen in multiple games, like, the Prism comes forward, groups up with the army, it's got the right idea, but then it never really does what it needs to, it seems. And now Sharpened Edge does abandon that attack. It is transitioning now as it fires up a Robo Bay. So we'll see if there's going to be a Disruptor or a Colossus or something, but the Protoss bot is on a very low economy. Dominion Dog is now turning things around, going to be looking to be the aggressor. Of course, the ramp will be on the other side. There is a sentry too, and Sharpened Edge throwing up a Nexus right now. 3 Immortals and a Prism. How well can they micro against this? There's only +1 armor on the bio, so Guardian Shield gets popped immediately. Yeah, the bio collapses on top of this. There is micro going on from the Prism, but it's just not enough against all this bio. It looks like everything gets targeted down. The bio stims forward, super aggressive, as Dominion Dog seems to be, and Dominion Dog will take this game. And I guess now would be a good time for me to let you know that this is indeed going to be a 2-parter video, so don't go anywhere. And I'll just fast forward here. Sharpened Edge will clean everything up, will get cleaned up, and we'll load into the next game. And here we are in the next game. It's going to be none other than 12 Pool Bot itself, the classic Zerg. If you had to guess what this bot does, I'll give you one guess, and one guess only. Although it's not technically going to be a 12 pool, as it does squeeze out a couple of drones. So 12 pool bot is a lie, apparently. As a 12 pool is when you build a pool with your first drone. 12 pool bot, however, actually does squeeze out a couple of drones, so it's going to need a name change. All jokes aside, we do have taking on 12 pool bot. It's going to be Veteran. Revived, of course. The project continued on from one bot author by another. And yeah, we're going to see how well Veteran can handle this. It's a good test for the Terran bot. Of course, not all Terran bots wall super properly, and I'm not sure if Veteran will or not. Looks like Veteran is going for a double gas play, so that could be big. 12 pool bot starts up a spawning pool, has that just about finished up, so I imagine we will see some Lings soon. 12 pool bot doesn't necessarily just go for like an early Ling rush, it does go for Ling floods, I believe. as it fires into that gas. So yeah, 12 pool bot having some variety and just kind of playing like a mostly normal Zerg. For all we know, maybe it's just going to macro like a god, as it does send out another drone. I'm not sure where that's going. Okay, into a Roach Warren. So 12 pool bot is really keeping me guessing with this one. And then let's see. We have got, yeah, Ling's just attacking that SCV, gonna chase it on out of here. Veteran did indeed scout that Roach Warren. What it's gonna do as a response is a question, because it's like, as a bot author, how many responses do you program? In the TVZ matchup, do you program a specific scouting response to seeing a Roach Warren? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you just have like a baseline check with your bot scouts for expansions, and that's how you determine how defensive or aggressive your bot's going to be. There's a lot of different things you got to think about or approach as a bot author. That's what really makes these bots so impressive. Like, everything these bots do, someone has thought of this and programmed these something so that these bots will take these individual actions. It's not just machine learning based off human games of StarCraft 2 like Alpha Star was. These are bots that everything has been thought through, and that's what makes them so impressive that people have done this much work. Looks like we do have two Lings trying to run in for 12 pool bot. Gonna start attacking that depot. Looks like one of those Marines will shoot those two Lings. It's not really the Lings that Veteran needs to be worried about, though. It needs to be worried about these roaches that are crossing the map, and they are running right across the map. They're going to catch these Marines, potentially. That could be big, as there is a siege tank on the way for a Veteran, but it's not yet done. If these Marines go down prior to that, that's going to be really problematic. One of the roaches is rather injured. We'll see if it is going to morph into a Ravager, but we could say no, because there's actually no more gas being mined for 12 pool bot. This one tank is going to be so important. I think it may be able to stop this roach rush as it starts shelling away on top of these roaches. 12 pool bot elects to just retreat, but not far enough, getting obliterated. A tank doing what tanks do best, and that is just killing bugs. 12 pool bot gonna just keep trying to run on in here with these Lings, but they are unfortunately in range of that siege tank, which isn't a great thing as a bot author. You can see the indication on the map. I don't know if it's in the API or not, whether you can sort of sense where a siege tank is with your units, or how you'd go about doing that as a bot author. Now, well, I guess, yeah, you can't see the circle if you're not the one with the siege tank, so it is a little bit concerning for 12 pool bot right now that this push is coming across the map, but it honestly may be best case scenario. If all these Lings can just get a wraparound on these Marines, the Cyclone, and the tank, it's when the tank's behind a wall that it's problematic for the Zerg. Now, Ling speed is done. We'll see whether 12 pool bot's going to engage, but it's not. It just keeps getting pushed back and bleeding off Lings, unfortunately. I suppose it's waiting for the magic number before it goes in for the engagement, but then it, I guess, sees a couple more units and says, no, I can't take that fight. The wishy-washiness definitely hurts some of these bots. Looks like Veteran is going to just start shelling away with this siege tank, getting that sieged up. The Lings are being made for 12 pool bot. But man, oh man, Veteran is coming to push on in here. Auto turret gets dropped on down. Widowmine goes off. Marines are just kiting everything, and Veteran has lost the 8 Marines in all, but it does seem to just be rolling over 12 pool bot, and I think the Ling behavior of 12 pool bot may need a little bit of help, because I think it maybe could have won that engagement. Like, it's lost 63 Lings this game, and I mean, there's, what, a tank, a Cyclone, and a Raven, and a couple Marines? I think if you take all those Lings and don't lose them, 12 pool bot can probably deal with this army, but of course, that is much easier said than done. So it looks like Veteran will take this game. A relatively simple one. The Terran bot builds a tank, has a wall, meets the requirements, but we do like a good variety of these bot games. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you do enjoy these matches, go ahead, click that like button. I'll probably cast a longer match for my next one. Join the Discord, which is linked down below. Leave a comment saying more bots. And if you watched all the way to the end, go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. As, yeah, I put out pretty much daily StarCraft videos on the channel. Mostly bots, but also some pro games too. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in.